All right, hello once again, Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College. And as part of the Rankin Technical College AWD, or Application and Website Development program, and in particular the AWD 1111.NET Framework with Web Databases class, I've been doing a series of video presentations based on the textbook that will be used for this class in the fall 2019 semester. The book, as you can see right here, is ProASP.NET MVC 5 and A-Press Text by Adam Freeman. I'm in the middle of Chapter 6 and running into problems. The latest problem is what's supposed to happen when I added those Ninject packages before is it was supposed to come in, and as mentioned right here, is it says these Ninject packages, we'll try it again, come on. We're supposed to create a file called ninjectwebcommon.cs in the app start folder. Well, it didn't. So the suggestion was made that I go back after looking a lot on Stack Overflow and other places, is that we go back in here and again go to our package manager. And attempt to come in here. In fact, let's not even do it from here, so I'm sure I'm going to do the right one. Again, looking at a bunch of listings, they suggest that you keep version 3.2.1. So I'm going to see if I can get that version. So let's try it from here. So let's look for Ninject. I don't want the installed ones, though. I want to browse and search for Ninject 3.2.1. See if that's even there. Well, there's MVC 3. Again, I may be taking a bad situation and making it worse, but let's try this. 3.2.1, do the install. All right. Does not look as though inside of my app start it created that file. I think I clicked install. There we go. Giving me an error that says unable to resolve dependencies. Ninject 3.3.4 is not compatible with Ninject 3.2.1. Well, we're supposed to come in next and refactor the home controller, set up the dependency injection, and it's the next several pages that are in here. All right, it's not allowing me to do this. So I'm going to stop this, and I don't know if this is a wise situation or not, but for now, because I want to make some progress, I'm going to skip pages 128 through 136, and I'm going to jump back into talking about the unit testing stuff that's in the book. All right. So I'm going to jump to page 136, make it 137. Okay, and this is a very short section, about 7 or 8 pages, so let's just take a look at it and see what happens. All right. In this book, the author used the built-in test support that comes with Visual Studio, even though there are other packages available. To demonstrate Visual Studio unit test support, the author has added a new implementation of the iDiscount Helper interface to the example project. Create a new file in the models folder that's called minimumdiscounthelper.cs. All right, there that is. Should be able to close this for now. All right. Ensure that the contents match those shown here. Now they do. Notice that we are inheriting an interface iDiscount Helper. It's giving us an error, I would think, because we haven't built that yet. All right, the objective is to make the minimum discount helper demonstrate the following behaviors. If the total is greater than $100, the discount is 10%. Between 10 and 100, it's $5. No discount if it's less than $10. Out of range for negative totals. The minimum discount helper class does not implement any of these behaviors yet. I'm going to first follow the test-driven development approach of writing the tests and then implementing the code as we discussed back in Chapter 3. The first step is to create the unit test project. So we want to go into our current solution, right mouse click, and choose Add. Try that again. We're going to click on the solution, right mouse click, and choose Add New Project. All right. It says you can choose to create a test project when you create the MVC projects. We could have, but we didn't do that. So this will open the Add New Project dialog. Select Test from the Visual C# template on the left-hand side. So Visual C# Test, Unit Project, and we're going to call it Essential Tools.txt. Hoping this is correct. I don't think so. All right, so we want to go to Visual C# Test. Don't even know if I can get to that from here. So there's a unit test. Project.NET Framework. So what if we do that and choose Next? Not sure if that's going to be correct or not, but we're going to try that one. And we're supposed to call this Essential Tools .tests. All right. Set the project name, which I did, to Essential Tools.test. Click the OK button. We need to give the test project a reference to the application project so that it can access the classes and perform tests upon them. Right mouse click on the references here, Click Add Reference. Click Solution on the left and check the box next to the Essential Tools item as shown right here. Of course, we don't have Solution right here. How about Projects? Essential Tools. That's where we already are. Well, this isn't a great start. It's not here. It's not there. Let's cancel that. Maybe this is the references. So add reference. Projects. Essential Tools. That looks much better. Click OK. I will add my unit test to the unit test 1.cs file in the project. Paid for Visual Studio Editions have some nice features for automatically generating, but we're not using those. To get started, looks like we want to make the changes that are shown here on page 139. Alright, so I totally replaced what was in there with the code that is shown on page 139. The author says, I have added a single unit test. A class that contains tests is annotated with test class attribute right there. Not all methods in a unit test class have to be unit test. To demonstrate this, I have defined a getTestObject method right here, which will be used to arrange the tests. Because this method does not have a test method attribute, Visual Studio will not treat it as though it was a unit test. The author says, notice I had to add a using statement to import the Essential Tools models. Namespace. Test classes are just regular C# classes which have no special knowledge about the MVC project. It is the test class and the test method attributes which add the testing magic, as the author puts it, to the project. You'll notice in here that this uses the assert class, and the major components of assert are actually shown here on the bottom half of page 140. Each of the static methods in the assert class let you check some aspect of the unit test, and the methods throw an exception if the check fails. Each of the methods in that table that you see right here has an overloaded version that takes a string parameter. The string is included as the message element of the exception in case the assert fails. All right. Then the author says, going up to page 141, right here, now that I have shown you how to put together one unit test, I have added further tests to the project. You can see the additions in 528 on the bottom of the page, on the bottom of page 141, and most of page 142. These unit tests are so short and simple that the author is not going to explain them in any kind of detail. So let's start by grabbing this, copying it to the clipboard, adding that, looks like I'm missing that, though. And the only thing it doesn't like right now are, well, there's a couple things as you can see. All right. So I'm going to shrink this down so I can copy all of it at once. Visual Studio provides the Test Explorer window for managing and running tests. Select Windows or Window. Test Explorer. It could be under View. Other windows. Test results. I don't see one that says Test Explorer, so Windows, Well, as we have been doing, let's close this. Let's go back in and one more time. It says there, to run your unit tests after each local build, choose Test on the standard menu, then choose Run Tests after build on the Test Explorer toolbar. Okay, running these requires, well, we've got that. So, Test, Run Tests after build. Well, there's Test Explorer. Okay, I brought that up. Well, let's do a run all. There were build errors. Would you like to continue? No. It's giving me errors as you would expect because we're doing TDD. Here's the first one. That looks a little different. Again, I could be missing a... Alright, that removed that. But it's telling me the iDiscount helper, etc. cannot be found. Alright. So, the author mentions here, I'm on page 143. Just tried to do that, and they did fail. It says, you can see the test defined in the left-hand panel. All of the tests failed because we have yet to implement the method being tested. You can click any of the tests to see the details on why it failed. So, implementing the feature. I'm on the bottom half of page 143. I have reached the point where I can implement the feature, safe in the knowledge I will be able to check that the code works as expected when I'm finished. For all my preparation, the implementation is simple. I'm going to grab all this, copy, and I need a minimum discount helper.cs file, which I may have already. Okay, there it is. And we're going to remove all of this and replace it here. Alright, so what I replaced it with is a code that's shown on page 143. Alright? So, File, Save All, and the author tells you to run the tests again. Still errors. Quite a few. Visual Studio always tries to promote the most useful information to the top of the Test Explorer window. Well, mine is showing down here. I'm not showing anything in here. And even when I spread that out, it shows me these, but notice here. Alright, so it is showing errors in here, in other words. Now, they give you a fix on page 145. My guess is I've got so many errors in here, I don't believe that this one error that they tell us to fix in here is going to fix everything. All right, so in other words, I may be missing some code. Return new minimum discount helper, which I have, but I do not have an iDiscount helper. I'll have to go back and look and see if I should have that in there. But let's fix the one error that's in here. And we've already got that. All right. I must be way over on time, and I am. So I'm going to go back and check and see if I can find that iDiscount helper and where it was set up in here.